Some are daily basis, some are weekly basis. So based on like how it has been scheduled. So based on the requirements and everything. So these refreshes are scheduled and the priorities are set. Okay. So now when you go to this explore, so these are all the folders which we have. I will not go into all the details of all these folders because still, I also have to learn a lot of things. But what we can do is as soon as you start getting the work, right? So then we can, go through each folders and start exploring, what are the reports and everything. So make sense? Mhm. Yeah. So by the name you can see, right? So this is so basically we have one of the requirements for Albertson. So Albertson basically is a client for NRS. So there are some few reports which we have created for them. So they all are placed here. So one report is this. So main, I'm telling you the main folders which we use. Then is the field analytics. So all your FHS related works, right? So all your related to field, like, what all the coverage is there, what is the compliance related, what are the in-store. So all related to all that stuff, field related stuff, it all comes, we cover under these reports by the name field analytics. You will see there. Then we have GRS marketing, and the main important is the sales analytics. So all the revenue related stuff, right? So what are the revenue for the NRS for this month, week, month, and all those based on your opportunities, IDs, and everything. So that lies under the sales analytics folder. So mainly these are the reports which the users they use. Okay. And then we have some of the reports here for like media analytics and the Kroger marketing and all that stuff, but they are not being used that much. But heavily weightage is based on these three folders. Okay. Now the one report which I was supposed to talk to you is regarding the sales report. Okay, but it is placed under this finance workspace. So there is an in-store sales record report. Okay. So I'm just trying to find the updated report on which we have worked. Okay. So let me open this report for you. Okay. So basically there's a project going on right now in which we are trying to find the revenue by SKU. So SKU is like, the placements based on the product line and everything. So which any of the reps they go and, put that in the store. So that's how we define a SKU. So basically in this report, so there are a lot of dimensions here. So I'll tell you the background of this report, right? First of all, this report is at the very detailed level, right? So at the very granular level in which we have the data here in NRS. So that's why for each cycle, which is consist of like 4 weeks. So for each cycle, there are around like close to 8 to 9 million records. Okay. And for this report alone, if you go to the background for this in this table, you have around like more than 158 million records or something like that. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So it doesn't even run. Okay. So it runs in the sense that when we were doing an extract, right? So when we create an extract for this report, so it didn't came out because it's too much for it to refresh, right? The report was not opening, things were not happening. So we did a second approach. So we changed the design of this report. So how we changed the design of this report was, if you look at this is a summary report which we have created. Okay. So in the summary report, the extract for the summary report, it refreshes. It doesn't have much data. Okay. So maybe it is close to in some thousands, 200K or 400K, something like that. I don't know the exact numbers right now. So based on that, we created this summary report, and then there's a drill through functionality, which we have given here. So, and you click on any of these order numbers, right? Okay, so data source is down, so I have to start that. Okay, so if you click on any of the order numbers, then the detail of that report opens. Okay, sorry, the details of that order ID opens, and that is a live connection. Okay, it's not an extract. So here we are using two reports. So two connections are basically used. One is the summary and one is the detail. One, two. The seed is pointing to which database. Dev. 1 minute, Karen. I'll just start the database so that we can look into it. Okay. So there are two things here, right? So as I said, that summary report, because of the volume of the data, right? So we couldn't do it with an extract. So what we did was we created a summary table, okay, which will not have much data. And then based on any of the order IDs which the users select. So once the database is up, I can show you. So based on any of this order ID which the user click on it, it shows the details of that order ID. And that, if you go to this detailed report, so it's not an extract, it's a live connection. So based on the order ID, it's going to hit, what the query which we have. So it is going to hit your live database and then going to extract the data. Okay, you got it? Okay, now because you are not there, because now we have a discussion. So the background of this, because this project has been running for past 1 year. Okay. And they were not able to find the logic, like, what's the logic for SKUs. There were various revenues, I mean, the business was going through the logic of all the revenues and everything in this project, right? So it was like almost it's more than like 1 year project has been going on. So now we are in a state where we have from the backend side, all the logic which has been shared by the business and all the logic which they have gone through. So we are okay with that. So from the ETL side, we are able to rectify all the logics according to the business. So that 90% of the work is done now. Okay. Then comes the second part, that is how are you going to access that data? Because now we have data in the database, right? But from the front end, right? How are you going to access that report in Tableau? So based on what we could do, I have asked the users like what all dimensions what all dimensions they want to see in the report, right? What all the fields should have it. So I got the list of some of the fields which the users they want to see, which the business they want to see in the report. Okay. So what I want you to do is, I want you to go to this report, okay? And first of all, if something which you can see, if you can do something on the performance side. First question is this, right? Just take a look of this report. If you think something which we can do on the dimensions, detail side, regarding the performance of this report, right? If something which we can do here. Second thing is, the dimensions, I'm going to forward this the Excel. So if you can just cross check that all the fields which are being required by the users, they are in this report. And when you click on this order ID, hopefully this is up. Okay, so this takes around a minute or so to give you the details of that particular ID. So when you click on that detailed report, so just cross check that all the fields which are there in the Excel are there in the report too. If there's some additional field, then please mention there that these are the name of the fields which are additional fields, and you can just put there like additional or something, comment like that, so that we can get to know that these are the fields which are accessed in the report. Because that's what we talk to the business also, that the fields which they don't require, we don't want to put them in the report, so that we can reduce the volume and everything and enhance its performance. Yes. So what I'm saying here is, so yeah, so the first is the performance, which you have to check if you can do something about the performance. Okay. Second thing is regarding the fields. So the Excel which I'm going to share with you, I want you to just check that Excel, because can you see here, there's so many fields here, right? Yeah. Yeah. So if you can just cross check that we are not missing any of the fields which are here, and whatever, so you can just cross check, like, okay, this is present, absent, whatever you want to fill, right? And then all the additional fields which are here, if you can just name, I mean, just you can, if you can, put that in Excel, that these are the additional fields which we have in the report. Okay, sounds good. Okay, yeah. Now just let me walk through like all the dimensions which are here. Okay. Yes, yes. So because right now I cannot say how many rows are here right now, because it's been a long time. I have not seen this report, but we can just cross check with the SQL, right? By the way, do you have Tableau desktop? All your installations are in place. You have Tableau desktop. Do you have apps? Okay, let me give you the key. I have to find that document. Okay, I'll just ping you the key. Okay, so we go back here. Okay, so I will let you know about those number of rows and all, but there's a query, right? So behind it, if you go to edit, right, and you can see the query, and you can also see the table. And if do you have SQL Workbench also installed? Okay, so let's get this installed. Okay, let me send you the details for both those things. Okay. And by the way, Amrita did it. So if you have any issues, you can connect with her too, right? She can guide you how to install it. I mean, we need, yeah, Amrita. Or yeah, and let me send you those files. So you would need actually raise a request from your behalf. Okay, let me again raise a request on your behalf for SQL Workbench installation. So there is one person from the team, the IT support team. He will connect with you and he will do the installation. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So here, as you can look here, I'll just give you background. I mean, just overview of this report again, Karen. So you can see here, we have like 10 dimensions here. So whatever the dimensions which a user select, right? Based on that, the order ID, so are, permutation combinations, right? So based on that, the order IDs, they get populated. And so like, suppose if I say, like if I say it's for like byte type. So if I do a byte type, then all the values for the byte type would come here. Okay. And the user can select, which byte type. Suppose he wants for like, tactical byte type, right? So he can just select that, right? Then suppose for the byte type, after that, he wants to see for the product, right? So based on the product, all the values will get populated here. Okay. So like that, based on whatever the slicing and dicing which you do here, what are the filters which you apply, based on that, the orders IDs will get populated. And once you click on any of those particular order ID, so it will give you the details, right? As you can see. Okay. And based on this order ID, unable to proceed because of again having issues with the data source. Okay, so based on whatever the order IDs, when you click on that order ID, the detail of that particular order ID will open. I showed you the report, right? So that report will open, and then I mean that's it. Right? So yeah, so the details of that, the order ID will be here. Okay, and yeah, so this is the live connection, and the summary one is your extract. Okay. Detail, suppose, okay, if I tell you that I have got around 158 million records in the table and the extracts are not working, you are not able to refresh the report, you are not able to open the report, what would be your alternate solution? I mean, if you get a requirement in which you have around 158 million starting, you have got 158 million records in the table, right? How are you going to rip and your extracts, they are not refreshing. I mean, you're not able to do that. So what will be your approach to showcase the data to the users, to the business? I'm saying if you get a requirement, right? If somebody gives a requirement that Karen, I have to create a report, right? Which is based on a table which has got around 158 million records, right? Now you start creating a report based on that table, which has got like that much huge volume. But your extract would take, I mean, with that amount of data, in fact, we were not able to open the report, right? So suppose if your extract is, yeah, right? So now with 158 million, your extract is not getting refreshed. It is throwing out of memory error and all those of stuff, right? So what would be your alternate approach to showcase that much huge volume in the report? Mm-hmm. Correct. Correct. So yes. So what happened? Yes. So that exactly happened, Karen. So when we were trying to create the report using the extract, we were not able to open the report. The extracts, they were not getting refreshed. I mean, we were getting out of memory constantly. Okay, I mean, this page even was not opening. I mean, we were not able to open the report itself. Okay. So then we thought of an alternative approach that let's reduce the size, I mean the volume for the summary. Okay, so summary is just like, let's do that way. Let's split the report, okay, in summary and detail rather than giving the details of all the rows in one shot divided. Okay, first have the summaries. So you can have these numbers here, the order ID. For whichever order ID, if the user wants to see the detail, let's click on it, because if you do a select star from your table where your order ID is, suppose this 590370, that processing time in the database, it's not much, right? It's within seconds you will get the output. So that means the database wise is not an issue. The way the Tableau is going to handle 158 million, that was creating an issue, right? So that's why for the detailed report, we created the live connection. Makes sense? Okay. No, no, no. Yeah, definitely. No, I think you should know the background for, because this is because of this reason. Uh, this was also one of the reasons that it has been, we are going to and from motion regarding the performance and everything. Okay. So can you do me a favor, because I think last thing which Murugan was, I think last person to work on this report was Murugan. Okay. So Because you don't have access, right? Okay, I'll work on it right now. Okay. Let's first work on your access, okay? So these, yes. Okay, perfect. Sounds good. No issues. So yeah, so once Brad give you access, I will ping you the location of this report. Okay, just go through this report. Okay, how do you feel about it? Do you have any question? Because definitely, because we were just testing this report, so as you can see, like dimension one and dimension should have been up, right? So all these things Murugan has to take care of it. Should have done it. Yeah, let me give you quick access for this. Let's do one thing. Let me give you access to this report, okay? So that at least you can start working on this. Sounds good? Yes, yes, that I'll ping you. Once you have the access to that SQL workbench, I mean, installation is done, I will do that. Okay. For SQL workbench, SQL workbench, I don't think so. You will have the write access, you will have the read access. Yeah. Can you just try again, Karen? Are you able to see this folder or not? Oh, can you share your screen quickly so that you know? And yeah, so I'll very responsive, right? No, 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 Karen. No, Karen, this is not missing any fields. Okay, the fields which I have, I will send you in an Excel. They're already there in the detailed report. So you have to just cross check. Don't do add anything right now. Just cross check the ones if they're missing or not. Then we will look into it that if something is missing. Okay, the report is ready. Yeah, the report is ready. You have to just see that the ones which are missing and the ones which we have. Okay, so but I need just one more help from you. Can you, because as you can see here, dimension one, dimension two, the first row, right? So how the dimensions are there in the top line. Can you do it for the second row also that all the dimension, the labeling, dimension one has to be, I mean the boxes has to be of same size as first row. Make sense? Yeah, this. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Sounds good. Yeah. So I mean the reference is row number one, right? So how it is coming in row number one, exactly in parallel, I should have dimension one here in the second row. The box of the first filter should be same as of the second one, like that. The only difference is the number of the filters in row 1 are 11 and in row 10 in row 2 are 10. So that is okay. Below order ID, you can leave this as null, as blank only. We don't need any filter here. So we are good. Yeah. We don't need an extra box. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, yes. Sorry. Adjusted, yeah. No, same thing. I just need you to just resize the filters. I mean, and put the headers on the top. That's it. Same as row one. That's it for the second row. No changes, nothing apart from that. Okay. And also, yeah, also if you see the list one, right? So if you can make sure that the space is utilized, because on the right I see the blank space is there, right? Which we don't want, right? So yeah, just make it fit the screen. And also, I don't know, but I have this thing like after order ID, there is some, I mean, field which is not getting populated, but we don't need this one. I don't know, like, why it is. It seems like, there has been something, there was something which is being now not coming out, something like that, right? But order ID should be the last column. Okay. So just make this list fit the entire screen. Okay, yeah. So for you, there are three things to you which you have to do to the report. Okay, I think the first what you can do is the formatting issues which I have told you. Okay, so that is the row number second, the resizing of all those filters and fitting of this list to the entire screen. Okay. Second thing what we can do that you have to do is tally the list which I'm going to send you regarding the field names. It should, I mean, just see, that all the fields are present or not, and just, and whatever the extra fields are there in the detailed report, just put them in that particular, I mean, let me show. So yeah, put them in the columns that, okay, this is an extra field which we have, and the